What's up, gang? It's your boy Jordan back with another video, guys. We got Auntie back in the show, man. Hey, I love Auntie. I don't know what her real name is, so that's why I call her Auntie. Yeah, man. She's been really backing the men on these podcasts, on these shows. She's been really backing the men and kind of telling the younger women what it's about, what men want, what you need to be as a woman, and what kind of being submissive isn't a bad thing. It's listening to a man and what he wants. And again, a man should be submissive as well, like not in that way where getting all emotional, but you should listen to what your woman wants as well, which is fair enough, right? I mean, for a relationship to work, that's how it has to be. You have to listen to each other. But she's been backing the men from day dot, which is fair enough. You don't get many women that do that. But again, she knows what men want. She's obviously accepted and had to listen through her experiences as a woman what men need and what they want out of life. And the same goes for the man. They have to do the same thing. But she knows and she accepts that. Modern women don't. Yeah, but this. Yeah, but that. Yeah, but. Nah, actually, do you know what? You're just not on my level. You're just, you know, I'm more valuable than you. You're just not on my level. That's why I don't understand you, because you're just not on my wavelength. You're not in my energy circle. You're not on my vibe. It's like, shut up. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? This supernatural stuff that it's not even real. Like, what are you on about? I can't wait to get into this one, man. I want to see Auntie shut down another modern woman feminist, and I want to see what the feminist has to say. Oh, not feminist, but the younger woman, what she has to say. I'm all for feminism. I back it, but what I don't like is when they try and change people and change other people's beliefs. That's wrong, and that's with any specific thing, whether it's you're gay, bisexual, straight, doesn't matter what you are. You believe what you believe. Don't try and change other people's opinions, beliefs or thoughts and try and get them to... No, that's toxic. That's what I don't like. And this is what some of these modern women try and do. That's what they do in their podcast shows. They get all the women together and they start talking about this about men. It's like, what? That's toxic. You don't see men do that. You don't. Let's get straight into this video.
I start... Andy, do you want to start? He's a little nervous.
No, give your best to the one you got. And if you can't give him your best and he's going elsewhere, then you can't blame him. I'm sorry, but like I said before, no man, no woman should put up with bad sex. And if a man is having bad sex, it's the woman's fault. It's the woman's fault. Because if you get a male virgin and a woman, he's going to have bad sex anyway. She's going to teach him rubbish just to keep him down there. But if you get a man who's had lots of sex and a virgin, he's going to teach her everything he knows to make sure that she can perform properly. So as far as I'm concerned, if you're with somebody and you're not getting good sex from them, I'm not talking about making love, because women all into is making love. That's the little Christmas, birthdays, whatever. Men just want to have sex. If the sex ain't good, get rid. Because I'm sorry, but there's too many men out there having sexless relationships. And it's wrong. All these feelings about, oh, I want their personality, I want this and that.
Why doesn't that work the other way? You said that the man can teach the virgin woman how to have good sex, but why can't the woman who's had a lot of sex teach the virgin how to have good sex? Why is it not? Well, I just think...
This is what I'm saying. Have you got hard ears? Do you know what my grandmother used to say? You got hard ears. You got hard ears. Like, have you not just listened to what she's just told? Wow. Let me tell you something, yeah? Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Because over the years, yeah, whether it's been friends, people in my circle, school, you know, I've always heard girls say, oh, he was bad in bed, he was this, he was that, he weren't good, he weren't this, he didn't do this. What about your ass? What did you do? What did you do to up the performance, to up the sex? You done nothing. You just laid there on your back. Oh yeah, it was too small. It was this. It was this. It was that. What are you doing to improve it? Again, why can't you take accountability for it and say, do you know what? Maybe I could have tried more. Maybe I could have done this to make it better. Not just put everything on him. just because he has the penis. It's always on us. It's always on us to do it, you know. And Auntie just said it clearly, like as plain as day. She said, if the sex is bad, it's down to the woman. Look, men are sexual creatures. I mean, we're all sexual creatures, but men have the tendency to be more sexual creatures because of testosterone levels are higher, pheromones, chemicals, all these things, like they're higher in a man because we are genetically built to produce the sperm and to give the sperm. That's why our sex drive is way higher than most women. Don't get me wrong, there are women out there that probably have a higher sex drive as well, but we mostly have a higher sex drive because of testosterone, because we produce the sperm, and our objective is to produce that sperm and give it to the woman. That is why there's just uncontrollable kind of feeling with sex, and it's like if we don't get it, we kind of get frustration and all these things, and we get stressed because if we're not getting it from our woman, we're not getting sex on a regular basis. That's why you get most men that cheat and do all these things. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that's the right thing to do as a man. It isn't. The right thing to do as a man is communicate with your other half and say, look, I don't think I'm getting this. And if she doesn't want to give it to you, then you move on. Then you say, well, this ain't gonna work for me, and that's when you leave. You don't go and cheat and start sleeping. That's the wrong thing to do. But that's what men do anyway, because they don't know how to communicate. They just go and cheat and sleep with different women because they don't know how to communicate. You know, that's that. But anyway, going back to it, she's completely right. And if a man's a virgin, it's not like he's sleeping with a man. Another man, men realistically should be teaching the man how to do it, not the woman. I mean, you need to know what a woman likes and how she feels in the bedroom. I completely understand that, but it's like, how can a woman teach a man what to do in the bedroom? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, what a man's purpose in the bedroom is, you know? He can say to him, you know, this is the spot. This is how you should be hitting it. This is how you should be doing this and that. Okay, but he will never be fully effective as a man in sex unless he's been taught the right things by a man and how he should act in the bedroom. You know, it's like women ask other women, like, oh, this is how you should do it, this is how you should. It's like, it doesn't make any sense. You know, anyway, we're going to get back to it.
I think if women were lined up for virgins, then 1 out of 3 men wouldn't be virgins.
Wait, say again?
If women were lined up to date virgins, if that was true, then 1 out of 3 men wouldn't be virgins.
I don't get it.
Because the male virgins are out there.
Oh, okay. 1 out of 3 men under 30 haven't had sex in the past year or are virgins. 1 out of every 3 men.
Is that
so? Like, if women wanted virgins, they're there.
But how would you know? I still think.
And that falls into that confidence she was that she was talking about earlier with a man approaching you. Nobody was talking earlier, and he mentioned confidence. That confidence comes from experience with women over time. So that same confident guy you want to approach you, he's not going to get that confidence unless he's had that previous experience, including sexual. So you want this guy with this low body count, that's not the same sort of guy.
Confidence, like, I don't think it's like just related to sex. Obviously, yeah, if you had, you know, multiple women, like you had a lot of experience, you're probably going to be a tiny bit more confident. But I think, like, you know, how do you act in bed is kind of even, you know, inside you, or you have it or not. Like, it's not really about how many.
The men can bring it out of you. The men can bring it out of you. A man can bring it out of a woman, but how often does a woman bring it out of a man?
Is that because you're speaking from a woman's perspective, so you wouldn't know?
I'm a woman, so I can only speak from. I hang around with men, so I got male friends. I say 99% of my friends are male. They're not getting enough sex, and they're not getting enough sex how they want it, where they want it, whenever they want it. And it's the women that are like holding this keys to sex, like. That's why I can speak from a woman, because there's men out there. You can, as a woman that's had ex-partners, you can look at your partners and see where the women have done them wrong. You can know, because the women.
Leonardo da Vinci seems to have encrypted the Great Pyramid of Giza into the Vitruvian.
Teaching them, the women are so quick to open their legs but not their mouth to say, excuse me, but mate, but what are you doing down there? That's wrong. Fix up, or this is how you're supposed to do it. But there's too many men out there. There's too many women out there now having bad sex.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's like, you can be a virgin, but she's not going to be telling you that. She ain't going to be saying to you in the bedroom, you need to do this, you need to do that. What did they say? You were shit. He's bad at sex. He was so bad. I think he's a virgin. Like, it's not, the woman ain't going to be turning around and being like, look, this is how you do it. Again, this younger woman, oh, but why can't we? Well, do it then. Show us. You're not doing it. You're just talking out your ass because you're trying to back the argument of women can do this. We understand that you can, but you're not doing it. That's the whole problem. That's the point we're trying to get across. It's like, you keep saying that you can. Why don't you then? Why don't you do it when the time comes? You don't. You just slag the guy off and say he's bad at sex. Oh, I think he was a virgin. Oh, he didn't do this. He didn't do that. Why are you not teaching him it then? Why are you not saying during sex, do you know what? Let's start again. This is how we're going to do it. You won't. You won't do that. You won't do it.
Because of the men's previous partners not teaching him properly.
Okay. Interesting.
That's coming
well, and I guess as a girl, but how do you know it's bad? You must have a lot to compare.
I didn't know it's bad.
Yeah, you know, enjoying it.
Listen, right, if the bed's not rocking and I'm not shivering, then maybe she said about the earthquake.
No, I'm saying you have to have a lot to compare it to know it's bad.
No, you can just know. No, you can just know how you feel. Because if you go and you relax yourself and you free it up and you trust the man that he knows what you're doing, you're going to have good sex all the time.
Okay, what you want to answer the question?
I mean, I personally, so like, this might sound controversial, but I feel it's unrealistic to believe a man should be with one woman.
Okay.
So I agree that, you know, they shouldn't expect it from a man. But I feel like everything comes down to control. Okay. So as a man, if you decide you're going to go into a relationship, you have to decide to control yourself and choose to be faithful.
Yeah.
What if your woman's a freak?
What would that do?
Like she's up for anything with you sexually. You're still gonna go elsewhere.
Doesn't matter.
You're still gonna go elsewhere.
If you want to go elsewhere, you're gonna go. You can have the perfect woman in the world. If you want to cheat, you will cheat. It doesn't matter. I do not believe there is anything a woman can do to stop a man from cheating if he wants to cheat.
Can I ask you something? I don't believe that all men cheat. Not all men cheat.
Answer Jenny.
Sorry.
This is how I see it. He's got a good point. If a man's gonna cheat, he's gonna cheat. You can't persuade him. You just can't, because in his soul, in inside, if he wants to cheat and he doesn't like you in that way, it doesn't matter how many times you have do the deed with him, he's gonna cheat. Now let me tell you something. I would probably say if you are in a relationship, the more you do the deed with him, I feel like the less he will the sexual desires to kind of find that woman or person or whatever it is to get the sexual desires from, meaning cheating, it will be less, or it will literally be nothing, will be invalid. Because if you're giving him more regular sex, and you know, I'm not saying that you have to do all the work, I'm saying of course he has to put a little bit of he has to put some effort into it, right? But again, women do hold the keys. I always say this: women hold the keys to sex, men hold the keys to marriage. That's how I see it, because women have the opening. You know, it's not rocket science. They have the opening. They have the keyhole, if you want to put it that way. That's why they hold on to the keys. And it's like the women that don't have regular sex with their men and hold it from them, that's the wrong thing to do, because again, genetically, naturally, men desire sex more than women, just due to chemicals and genetics, testosterone, etc. And again, these women that do that can't accept it, what happens? Your man goes, why is he cheating on me? Why is he sleeping with these different women? Why is he? Because you're not giving him regular sex. You're not giving it. That was the man. A man's nature is to produce the seed, is to give the seed. That's his natural, that's his nature. That's what he's been. Why can't you accept that? Oh, but he's got to think about me and think about if I'm feeling it. That's got nothing to do with it. Why don't you, again, look at yourself in the mirror and go, do you know what? He was designed to produce seed. That's his design. That's in his nature. So why am I holding it back? Why am I not giving him that kind of leeway, or why am I not giving that regular deed? Why am I not doing it? And then you look at, oh, why is he doing this? Why is he doing that? Why do you think? You know, I do believe what he's saying. I feel like if you're going to cheat, you're going to cheat anyway. It doesn't matter if you try and persuade him. But I agree with what Auntie's saying. If you are a freak, or if you're a woman that gives him regular sex, it won't give him the excuse to go off with other women and cheat and do all these other sexual desires and all these other things.
But do you agree that not all men cheat?
Hold it down, bro.
Do you agree that not all men cheat?
Speak your truth.
Some men don't.
No, I'm saying no.
Wait! Did you download Grammarly? Grammarly helps you clean up your messy, confusing...
Not all men cheat.
Yeah, not all men.
That's fine then.
One thing can I add?
Go ahead, yeah.
So one thing I will say is I think men exercise their options.
Right.
And so most men...
There we go.
Women don't find them attractive, and therefore they don't have options to exercise, and therefore they cannot cheat. Whereas the top percentile of men have options to exercise, therefore they can cheat. And if the woman that is with them feels a type of way, wants to leave, he's like, okay, I'll just add a new girl to the rotation. And he's able to get a plethora of girls because he's got the option to exercise his will to cheat.
Yeah, that's fine. I just don't believe that all men cheat.
No,
there's a minority that don't.
I agree. I think
Yes,
I think you'd
fine.
agree most do if they can.
Yeah, most would
If they
yeah.
could.
But most men can't. And that,
Most men should.
Most men can't. Most men in relationships can't cheat.
So what about you? Do you think it's fair that women expect monogamy if they gave their best years to another man?
No. Definitely not.
And what would you define as a woman's best years? Go ahead.
Okay, well, I would put that into the same sort of, especially with that particular male or man, usually her child's dad, her first love is usually that type of person. You know, he's usually got everything else out of her. By the time you've come across her, whatever the scenario is, you are getting the after bits. There's going to be memories of him, be it in a relationship, sexual, whatever. You know, there's going to be, especially if they've got a child, there's an imprint. I've seen it loads of times. You know, people have broken up, they've got with someone else. As soon as the kid dad come back in the picture, gone. They're either sleeping together or they're back together. So if a woman's had her best years with another male, to me, she's actually his, to be perfectly honest. And I found a lot of the time that there's that one particular guy.
Is there a certain age that you would say?
In and around 30-ish, 30, mid-30s. It depends what she's kind of done up to then.
Okay.
But to be fair, about sort of like the mid-30-ish then, by that point, it's like, yeah, it's a bit slicky.
What do you think? Is it fair to expect monogamy if you've given your best years to another man? Because it's like if men value purity and youth and we don't have that to give to him, how can we expect like monogamy when they can't fulfill their mating strategy?
Are you speaking like from a new relationship, or they've been together for years and now he can cheat because she's given her best? Like,
so what I'm saying is relationships are an exchange, and men and women want different things. Like we want resources. We want a guy that's tall and that can protect us. We want resources, protection, provisioning. Guys want youth, purity, peace. And so if they can't fulfill,
look at the eye roll. She can't accept it. It's so frustrating. Look, watch this. Watch the I think she's Latina. I don't know. Watch.
Guys want youth, purity, peace. And so if they can't fulfill their mating strategy, which is to get a girl with...
Right, we're finishing it up there. It's done. I see, even that just annoys me. It's just like, again, you just can't accept what men want. It's just so... It's just like, here, you're just walking into a brick wall constantly. It's just like, do you know what? Men at this point should just give up. They really should just give up, man, and just... I don't even know what to tell you. If you find a woman that is more than prepared to put her kind of morals aside and believe in you, support you through failure, through success, through more failure, through more success, She's going to be there for you sexually on a regular basis. She's going to want to do things with you as a partnership. Like, keep her. Men, I'm talking to men now. Keep her, because what you will find is there are not a lot of women out there like that, especially in this day and age. There aren't women out there that will accept the terms and conditions of what men want. And again, I'm saying to you guys, you need to accept the terms and conditions of what women want. If your woman's telling you that, if you want your woman to be respectful, loyal to you, meaning that she doesn't go out all the time with her mates clubbing and all these things, and she stays in for you because that's what you want, then you need to kind of start doing the same thing. Not going out as much, not clubbing, doing all these things. Like, you can't, as a man, you can't get away with doing what you want to do and not letting her kind of do what she wants to do, you know. You have to become a partnership in a relationship. That's how I see a relationship. You have to become a partnership as well as being lovers, you know. But going back to like from a sexual point of view, again, the whole argument with that all men cheat. I personally don't think all men cheat. I mean, there are really good men out there that from the bottom of their heart, I mean, they even myself, like, it's just wrong. It's just wrong, and it's like you wouldn't want your partner doing the same thing to you. It's a wrong thing. It's a hurtful thing to do. So I just wouldn't do it. I've done it in the past. Don't get me wrong. Like, I've been there and done it. I've cheated. I've been cheated on, and I have cheated on people, on ex-partners. But you know, you learn it's not the right thing to do. It's a horrible thing to do. Being disloyal to someone, you know, especially when, you know, they put their life on the line for you as well, you know. They're being loyal towards you when, you know, there's probably times where they could have been disloyal to you but they turned it down, but you're doing the dirty behind the back. It's just wrong. But again, I'm talking about young men in their teenage years, you know, 18, 17, 18, 19 years old, 20s, like early 20s. I'm talking to the women now, like, if you do not give your men regular sex, it's going to be hard. Because I know, as a man, I can speak from a man's point of view because I'm a man, and I know the kind of sexual desires and the sexual feelings that you get as a man, especially when you're younger. You want it all the time. Like, when you're 18, 19, like, you can't stop thinking about sex all the time. Like, you constantly are thinking about sex. When you're in school, like, you're looking at the teachers, like, you're just thinking about it constantly. Like, that's just, it's in our genome. It's what we've been made to do. We've been given the seed to give. That's why our sexual desires are so high. It's just in our genome, you know. Especially when you're a younger man, your testosterone levels are sky high. So you just want to have sex all the time. And if you're not giving your partner, ladies, regular sex, good luck. I'm not saying he's going to cheat, but he's going to be he will be thinking about other women, and if he doesn't do that, he will probably cheat on you. He will probably find another woman that's going to give him that regularity of sex. Like, he will go there. I'm telling you this now. So again, men and women need to start, you know, younger men and women need to start coming to terms and accepting the terms and the conditions on both sides, not just one side. That's why that woman there who rolled her eyes is so annoying. Why can't you accept it? Why can't you accept things for how they are and what they are, you know? And that's the point we're all trying to get across in this whole massive men versus women debate. And that's why there will be an ongoing debate, because there will be still modern women out there that will disagree what men want and can't accept the terms and conditions of what they want.